Here is Jeff, the host of the Gridiron.
Well, welcome to the Gridiron, baby. If you can give this video a thumbs up or maybe share this video, that would be absolutely freaking phenomenal. If you subscribe to my channel, thank you. If not, please go down below, hit the subscribe button, hit that bell icon. That way next time I go live or if I put a video out, you'll be notified. And it's free of charge. It's totally free of charge. But if you're subscribed to my channel, thank you. If you want to help support my channel out, description box below, very top link, takes you to my membership page. I got 3 different membership levels. Each one has their own little perks to them. So once again, if you want to help support my channel out, it would mean so much to me. And I thank you in advance. Thank you. Then somewhere down in the description box, just another link, takes you to my Facebook group. It's called the New York Giants, The Gridiron. It's my Facebook group. We have over 9,900 members. So close to 10,000 members. Over 9,900 members in the group, and it is doing simply marvelous, might I add. Basically, if I'm alive and breathing, and if I got internet access, I ain't putting stuff in this group darn near 365. It's called the New York Giants, The Gridiron. It's my Facebook group. Please join it. You will not be dissatisfied, I promise. Well, I'll tell you, there's some a lot of promising, things, a lot of good things. I mean, it's just an exhibition game and all that, but when you go on the road and there's some nice performances and all, and you'll come out with the W and all that stuff. It's really, it's a nice way to start the season once again, even though it is exhibition. But the Giants have 2 practices going up against the New York Jets on Tuesday and Wednesday. So that'll be very, very interesting. But what I try to do is every year always try to go over the team and the player grades according to PFF once again. Right? That's all. It's all according to this PFF. These are grades that they give to the teams and the players and all that after each week. So let's go over the team grades for the New York Giants. I compare them to the rest of the league. Now, of course, once again, this is rather, because a lot of teams didn't obviously have, there's a lot of their starters are in there. Some of the teams have actually played 2 games, where some have only played 1. So once again, it's very misleading, but All right, here we go. Let me share my screen here. All right, let's go over the team grades. All right. Where do the New York Football Giants compare to the rest of the league so far? All right. I mean, it's easy to say. I mean, actually, there was even a tie with the Bear game, right? It was 23-23. The Lions have played 2 games, right? Actually, there was a couple of ties. One game got suspended. I think one guy got really badly injured, and so actually had a couple ties, which is, well, I guess kind of in preseason. I guess that's not out of the norm. Regular season, that's a little, you don't usually get a ton of ties because in the exhibition, if they go to overtime, okay. I mean, nobody's really worried. I mean, some teams want to win. I mean, you do like to win, but I mean, it's not so much, I guess, a life or death situation, right? But so let's go over here. All right. So we're going to go first. We're going to go to team grades, the overall. Let's see who came out. Falcons on top. Where were the Giants? I haven't looked at all, so I have no idea where the Giants are number 13, 69.9. So the Giants, their team grade is almost a 70 once again. This is only a preseason game. This is, according to PFF. So, right. But so far they're number 13, which is, rather shocking. I mean, because I'm used to them the past couple of years being like 30th, 31st. 39th out of 32 teams. I mean, it's just absolutely just ungodly freaking pathetic. All right, so offense. Let's see here. The Rams are 81.2. Mr. McVay's team there off and running. Where are the Giants? The Giants are ninth. Ooh, very impressive. 70.4. I mean, that's what, that's what would you call it? Scoring, getting almost 400 yards in total offense, 34 points. That'll get you. That'll get you up there. And all four quarterbacks led the team to some points. So, all right. So now we got the passing grade. Look at that. Look at that. Number one, baby. We're number one. Yeah. Super Bowl. 80.8. The New York Football Giants, after 1 week of preseason, are tied for the league lead with the Chicago Bears passing offense. 80.8. Holy cow, Batman. Huh? And the thing, I mean, once again, just preseason, just one game, right? So we got to keep all that in mind, right? But, the Giants did, 80.8 passing grade. Now, the passing, of course, is also help, has to do with, maybe like the receivers in there, the blocking and all of that. Obviously the receiving has its own grade and all that, but, everything kind of what blends together, right? So, but the Giants did, had that, got some very good passing grade. And they didn't have three of their top four wide receivers out there. They did not have their best offensive lineman out there. Evan Neal didn't even play either. So very, very impressive. All right, what do we got now? The next one, pass blocking. The Giants should be up there in this one too. Number one, baby. Super Bowl. Woo. 78.4. Now, once again, right? Now, the Giants did not have their best offensive lineman, and once again, it's preseason. But we got guys going in and out. Marcus Bowe on the left. He was the right tackle. He went to the left tackle. We got guys switching all over the freaking place. Absolutely freaking bananas. We had 54 dropbacks. I think the Giants took off, like with Dart and all that, took off like 3 times. I think maybe Dart took off maybe twice and Winston took off once, might have been. But so basically there was 51 pass attempts, not one sack. I think there was, 6 hits or 6 hurries, but there wasn't one sack. 54 dropback, not one sack. So I've never, John weren't even in the stratosphere of number one in the past. This is Giants, the passing grade and the pass blocking, they're number one. Holy cow. Now, once again, we might come back more to earth this week when we're playing the Jets and the X, but you go on the road against Buffalo and come out on top. That's it's a little different this year, right? Right? The receiving grade now where the Giants had their Giants fall. Now, once again, the Giants did not have 3 of the top 4 wide receivers out there. Okay. We scored 34 points, had 3 touchdown passes and all that stuff, and 2-point conversions and whatever. And we had nothing but like a bunch of backups in there, right? Malik Neighbors wasn't in there. Slayton wasn't in there. Hyatt wasn't in there, right? Where are the Giants at here? Giants are number 16. Okay. 61.6. All right. Running grade. Now, this wouldn't be too impressive here because the Giants ran, the hell was it, 22 times for like 79 yards or something like that. Jackson Dart led the team in rushing. Turbo Miller ran the ball 10 times for 22 yards. So our running game was not super spectacular, shall we say. Okay. But right? Once again, as I said, Andrew Thomas was not in there, and our best run blocking offensive lineman, aka Evan Neal from last season, was not in there either, right? Let's see. So running, where we at here? Giants probably kind of close to the bottom area, number 27. Yeah, it's 56.6. Yeah, it was not super spectacular. You know, had a hard time running the ball. The run blocking. Where were the Giants run blocking at it? Number 14. So, I mean, I can honestly say I have not sat down and looked at the film, dissected every play. Spend 9 years looking at. I haven't done that. So I mean, apparently the run blocking was not too horrible. 67.9, almost a 68. I guess maybe some of the running, was not the decisions being made by some of the running backs. Maybe were not super spectacular, I guess. But But I'll tell you, the passing and the pass blocking. I mean, just to do this. Look at that. Boom. Giants, number one. Pass block. Look at that. Boom. Number one. Wow. Now, unfortunately, that probably won't last after week 2, but because let's not forget the Giants. The Jets have a very good defense. So let's not keep that in. So that will be an excellent indication for the Giants, though. Okay. If they can come up with a good performance offensive-wise against those Jets, that is a good indication because the Bills' defense was not super duper spectacular last season. Okay, it was their offense and a lot. Josh Allen and their offensive line, which was really good last season. Okay, but you take the good with the bad, right? So defensive grades here wise, the Giants would certainly not be super high on this one here because they gave up a plethora of yards. Now their starting defense was very good. However, they're at their second. We're 26th. Giants are 26th. 50. Where are we at? 55 point. Is that it? 55.6. Yeah, 55.6. So, I mean, the Giants had a lot of issues, and it would be also the it was second team, third team, a lot of some missed tackles, a lot of blown assignments. I mean, guys were running scot-free. I mean, a couple of them I could have. I could have scored one of the touchdowns here. Oh, let me see. I got something here from Game Time. What do we got here? I got tickets to go see the Cowboys because my son likes the Cowboys. Cowboys play the Lions December 4th, I think it is. From Game Time, your Dallas Cowboys and Detroit Lions tickets have been delivered. All right, there you go. Tap the link below to access your mobile tickets. Thanks and have fun. All right, so I got my tickets. I ordered them last night, and my tickets have been delivered. Cool. All right, Game Time. $1,100 for 2 tickets. Holy cow. All right, one defense. Let's see, Giants are number 18. 18. One defense. Where are we at here? 50, is it 57.4? Yeah, 57.4. Giants run defense. Giants number 18? Number 18. Yeah. 57.4. All right, tackling. Now, this Giants should probably not be very high on this here because they did not do a super duper job. I mean, a lot of it, I said maybe not so much the starters because the starters did very, very well, although it was just 2 series, and it wasn't against Josh Allen either. But they did have their starting offensive line in there. But once again, it was the Giants' second team, third team, which had some issues. Right? Let's see. So we got the tackling. So where are the Giants at? The Giants are number 27 at tackling. 42 tackling. Not good. Not good at all. Pass rush. All right, 90.1. Who's not? The Falcons, 90.1. Wow. Giants were number 8, though. Look at that, number 8. just kind of wondering if we had the first team in there the whole time, how our pass rush might have been. But Giants are number 8 with the pass rush, 71.8. Very impressive. All right, then we got, this one's going to be bad. Coverage grade. Yeah, this is horrible. This is absolutely horrible. Who's number 1? Chargers, number 1. The Chargers played 2 games so far. 89.8. Very impressive. The Giants are might be are they the worst? No, they're not worst. Giants are number 29 as far as coverage grade. 49.7. Very bad. I mean, I said some of those guys, that's the one thing is some of those guys on the bubble, did not make a good showing for themselves, that's for sure. All right, and finally, special teams. The Giants did well here. Giants did well here with special teams. Okay. They're not number 1, but number 3. Right? Number 3, 78.7. Right? 78.7. So the Giants are number 3. Fantastic. Very, very impressive. The Raiders are number 1. The Chiefs are number 2. The Giants are number 3. 78.7. Once again, it's all just one preseason game. That's all it is. All right. So, not too bad. Not too shabby. All right, so now let's go to the offensive side of the ball. See how the guys did on the offensive side here. All right, let me go. Once again, let me go share my screen here. There was some good. There's some bad. Obviously, when you got a ton of guys in there, you're going to get all kinds of stuff. All right, all kinds of stuff. All right, so share the screen once again here. All right, now, so we'll go to the offense. All right, where are we at here? Okay. Up. Okay, here we go. Game reports. Offense. Okay, here we go. All right, now, you'll notice here, right? All right, first, the guy with the best grade is Aaron Stinney, left guard, graded at 81.8. Wow. Pass blocking, 85.5. Wow. Left guard. Fantastic. All right, 81.8. Jackson Dart. You might know who that guy is, huh? Yeah, he graded out at 80.7. Fantastic. Absolutely fantastic. Joshua Zudu. Now he wound up being our highest graded. I didn't realize. Oh, sorry, buddy. Sorry, pal. This is. Joshua Zudu, our highest graded pass blocking offensive lineman. He played at left guard too for 61 snaps. So they must have. Obviously gone back and forth or whatever, because Joshua Zudu at left guard for 61 snaps. Aaron Stinney, left guard, that would be 120 snaps. We didn't have 120 snaps on offense. We had like 75. So, they shared it. Some was on the left, left, some was on the right, But also John Runyon Jr. was in there as well, too. He did not do super spectacular. Where are we at here? John Runyon, yeah, left guard. He played 13 snaps. Okay. So we're going to go over the offensive line in just a little bit here. But Joshua Zudo, our highest graded pass blocking offensive lineman this week. Wow. 45 pass blocking snaps. He graded out at 88.5. Wow. Carmen Basillo seems to be working a little bit of magic there, don't you think? Huh? Come a long way, baby. From 2 seasons ago, we gave up, 85 sacks? Now, once again, this is just preseason. But this is very impressive. Brian Hudson, let's see, he played 48 snaps. He rated 77.7. We had some offensive linemen who did pretty well. We had some offensive linemen who didn't do pretty well. Once again, all according to PFF. That's all it is, right? Tommy Chicken Cutler Parmesan played 18 snaps in the fourth quarter, graded a 76.8. It's going to keep talking about we're not going to keep 4 quarterbacks on the roster. And if we put one on the practice squad, they're not going to make it to the practice squad. Or if somehow by some act of God they do make it to the practice squad, they're going to get scooped up off there. Now, the one thing is that, Shane has to, probably want to work in his magic is trading one of these guys, one of these quarterbacks before the start of the season. All right, so we don't have to wind up putting somebody on a practice squad. But also what you want to do, too, is let all 3 weeks play out. Maybe somebody gets a team or two gets a quarterback injured here and a quarterback injured there or whatever. And then pick the phone up and you call and see if you can do a little bit of wheeling and dealing, right? Because you don't want to put, especially a quarterback, on a practice squad. And because Tommy DeVito just put some more good stuff out there on tape. If we're going to put him in the practice squad, he's probably going to make it, right? So the last thing you want to do is put a quarterback on the or try to put a quarterback on the practice squad and just have somebody just pluck him right off there, right? Because all 4 of these guys, have upside to them. And you don't want to lose a quarterback and not get nothing in return, right? Tyrone Tracy, he was in there for just 5 snaps, graded 75.1. Thomas Fidone, right? Was in there for 30 snaps, 71.4. Marcus Bowe, there you go. We're going to be talking about him in a little bit here, too. 49 snaps, 71.2. Now, he played at right tackle and left tackle. First game action ever in the NFL. Right tackle and left tackle. Absolutely freaking bananas. Graded out of 71.2. 81.2 pass blocking grade. Freaking crazy. Absolutely crazy. Montrell Washington trying to make the roster from the wide receiver spot, right? Graded out of 26 snaps altogether, 70.9. Russell Wilson had the 1 drive, 13-play drive, 70.9. Jimmy Morrissey at center, 18 snaps, 69.8. I mean, look at these pass block grades: 80.2, 81.2, 69.7, 88. Where's my 88.5, 85.5. You never seen this stuff before. Never. Turbo Miller, he was in there for 41 snaps, 68.5. Now it's 91.3 was his passing. Because he caught like 4 passes, 4 of his receptions turned him into first downs. And 4 of them, I do believe, all 4 of them, I think, one was like a third and like whatever, 12. One was like third and 16 or 17 or something. I mean, these were like long third down conversions he had. So he got a 91.3. His running was not super spectacular. I mean, we just carried the ball 10 times for 22 yards. But Wando Robinson was in there for 10 snaps, 68.2. Gunnar Olszewski, 27 snaps, 67.6. Daniel Bellinger was in there for just 7 snaps, 67.1. Jameis Winston was in there for 19 snaps. I guess pretty much like the third quarter he was in there, right? 65.7. Little Jordan Humphrey, who's not so little, let me tell you what, 38 snaps, 63.5. Austin Schlottman, who was at center for 38 snaps, 63.5. Zach Pascal, 24 snaps, 62.7. John Michael Schmitz at center, 13 snaps, 61.1. But even, look at this, his pass blocking rate, 78. Wow. GVR, 13 snaps, 59.5. Jason Williams at right tackle, 8 snaps, 58.9. But look, even that still, look, his pass blocking rate, 76.3. Theo Johnson, 9 snaps, 58.7. Devin Singletary, 12 snaps, 58.2. John Runyon Jr., 13 snaps at left guard, 57.9. James Hudson, the third, left tackle, 13 snaps, 57.5. Jermaine Illuminor, right tackle, 13 snaps, 57.1. But still, look, Hudson, 82.5 pass block grade. Illuminor, 66.8. Not too bad. Chris Manhertz, he was in there for 8 snaps, 56.9. Stone Forsythe, 24 snaps, 55.4. Jordan Bly, wide receiver, 12 snaps, 54.9. Amir Smith Marset, 11 snaps, 53. Daquan Felton, 25 snaps, 51.2. Dalen Cambry, 27 snaps, 51.2. Jonathan Ward, 22 snaps, 50.7. Antoine Wells Jr., the Juice, they call him, right? 17 snaps, 50.6. Jermaine Terry, the second, 23 snaps, 50.1. Greg Dulcich, 26 snaps, 44.7. And Jake Kubas, 32.9. Now, they like Kubas a lot. We'll have to keep an eye on, certainly keep an eye on him. But you also notice a lot of these guys down here at the bottom, all right, Kubas, Dulcich, Terry Wells, Ward, Cambry, Felton, Amir Smith, Marset, Bly, Forsythe, Chris Manhertz, okay. He's not a starter, but Illuminor, and Runyon. But a lot of these like the bottom 10, 11 guys or whatever it is, they're not starters. So you hate to see starters at the bottom, getting bad grades, right? And if they're starters. But a lot of these guys toward the bottom are, guys, trying to make the roster. But the one thing is with Jake Kubas, okay, he was the one, notice his pass block grade, 15.5. Now he had this coaching staff is kind of, they're high on him. Okay, they are high on Jake Kubas. He had a better job, did a better job last season as far as with his run blocking than his pass blocking. He needs to work on his pass blocking. Because if you remember, of course, as time goes by, still a lot of us diehard Giant fans will always probably remember, what happened, with Jackson Dart's his first touchdown pass, right? You'll see, dropping back, and actually, what he did was he checked out of the play, and he told, was it Montreal, Washington, just to run like a go. He checked out. He did something with his hand, and he checked out of it. And he told him to run a go, and because Chase Daniels broke the play down. Chase Daniels did a very good job of breaking down what they. He's pretty. Chase Daniels has his own YouTube channel. He's breaking down what Jackson Dart did, and he did a very, very good job. Very good job of breaking this stuff down. I mean, really. He dumbed it down so much, even I understood what he was, But he checked out of the play, and he told Montreal just to run it like pretty much a go, and he dropped it right in the bucket there. Absolutely fantastic throw. But you'll notice, as you saw in all the plays, the highlights, the replays of that touchdown pass, after I can't remember the guy's name, but after Dart throws the ball, a guy from Buffalo comes in, he gives him a shot. Clean shot, nothing wrong with it. Just, he didn't come and try to hug him and land on him. Like, he's just running. Dart, like, gave him a shot. But it was Kubas, Jake Kubas, who was supposed to be blocking, and the guy just kind of like walked right. It gave Kubas a move, and Kubas, I guess, was leaning one way or something. Guy came right around, either gave him a move or it took him and just shoved him to one side or whatever. But he got around Kubas, and just as Dart threw the ball, and just after he got done throwing the ball, guy gave him a shot. But that was Kubas in it. So Kubas, the coaching staff is kind of high on him, but he's got some work to do because we have a ton of offensive linemen. Just look what Azudu did. That was a great showing from Azudu. So Kubas is quite possibly one of those, work in progress, right? So he might be somebody we might wind up putting on the practice squad, trying to have him pass waivers and get him on the practice squad if we can. But we said we have a lot of offensive linemen, quite a few of them. And once again, it's just a preseason. It's only one game, a long way to go. But quite a few of them had a very good showing. which takes us now to our defensive side of the ball, right? The defensive grades after the Giants beat the Bills, right? Micah McFadden, he was only in there for just a few snaps, but he wound up grading out for the highest grade for the Giants on their defense. Now, also because McFadden, with a few guys like Azudu, right? Belton, Flott, McFadden, those four guys. I'm sorry, my bad, Neil. Those five guys. These are contract years for them, right? So they're going to want to put their best foot forward. And you also like with McFadden too. He's trying to put his best foot forward, on the Giants. But I said, if he can show that he can play, right? If the Giants don't bring him back because we got Carter, right? He's going to want to get paid from another team. So this is a big season for him. Plus, also, he's trying to show that I can still play. Don't put me on the bench too much because of this guy Carter. I mean, make sure you get me some snaps too, because I'm out there playing, right? So he had that one hit early on. I think the guy caught the ball. As soon as he caught the ball, McFadden was all over him. I mean, what a good read he had. What a good read. All right, so let's go to share the screen once again. We'll go to the defensive side of the ball. All right. Okay. Game reports. Here we go. Defense. Now you'll see. You see. With the defense, you can do all kinds of stuff. I mean, I could literally be here for 9.5 years. I mean, I could go over, the coverage matchups, what the grades are, the coverage grades, the pass rush, right, the run defense. Just lots of stats, a lot of stats. But I'm going to go for the overall, right? So I said, we got Micah McFadden was graded at a 92.1. Very impressive. Trace, I see he was only in there for I guess it was pretty much I guess the first two drives he was out there for, I'm guessing, and after that he got pulled out. But Trace Ford, 84.3, very impressive, right? He's one of the guys, outside linebacker, right? I mean, he's trying to make the team. He's on the bubble. Well, so far he did himself very good so far. But some guy by the name of Abdul Carter, right? 82.5 on the pass rush. He had 3 pass rushing attempts, and he had 3 hurries. I mean, and not only so much was that he did it against Dawkins. Two of the 3 pass rushes that he had were against Dawkins, and he got by on both of them. Now, to be fair, the one, he got around the outside of Dawkins, and he had that bend, and somehow his ankle bent almost like in half, or I don't even know how he got around him, but he got around Dawkins. But the thing was, Bill Parcells said, I remember he asked this question to Kayvon one time. He was there, I don't know, was it last year or 2 years ago? Can't remember what it was, but Parcells went up to Kayvon and said, "Where's the worst place to be?" And Kayvon answered correctly. He said, "Behind the quarterback." I could run past the quarterback. I can get, I can get around the tackle, and he can just walk me past the quarterback. But some of just you can definitely tell this guy's going to have, guy's going to be have a nice impact for the Giants. Let's hope the guy can stay healthy. But another guy here, right, on the bubble, right? This is a big game for Mr. Davidson, DJ Davidson, 22 snaps, 77.9. Devon Wallace, big for him because we brought him in, right? But we're looking who's going to be that 4th safety. Quite possibly, we're looking at Newman, Holland, quite possibly Belton, right? But who's going to be the 4th safety? Well, Kevon Wallace had himself a very good game. 26 snaps, rated at 75.3. Brian Burns, 5 snaps, 73.6. Raheem Lane, 23 snaps, 73.2. Elijah Garcia, 26 snaps, 73.2. Now he's trying to make the team. This defensive line we got, we have a lot of guys on the defensive line. Let's not forget Dexter Lawrence, our best. You can, as of right now, okay. So, I can't put Malik there, can't put Carter there, can't put Andrew Thomas there. As of right now, Dexter Lawrence is our best defensive player. Okay, he didn't play. Okay, but so you got Elijah Garcia, 20. There we go, 26 snaps, 73.2. Tyler Newman, just eight snaps, 72. Corey Durden, once again, he's trying to make this team, right? 17 snaps, 68.5. Paulson Adebo, just eight snaps, 63.3. Deontay Banks, they had him out for 20 snaps. He did pretty well, 63.2. From what I read, he was targeted, I think, 5 times. He gave up one reception. Okay, I know the one. I think the one reception they're talking about is he was man on man with a guy. I don't remember who the receiver was, but he had to cover him all the way across the field. The guy took like an inside route, and he ran all the way across the field, and Banks was behind him, right? And then the guy had a couple steps on Banks, and Banks covered him all the way across the field. The guy caught the ball and I guess got like 12 yards on the route, I think it was. But other than that, Banks didn't do too bad. Now, of course, here, where we at here? 63.2. 40.8 is tackling, 44.3. Now, we did have a couple guys here. Some of the tackle, see who we got here. Raheem Lane missed one tackle out of 3. He has 33% missed tackle rate. Another guy, Banks, he must have missed a tackle. He had 2 tackles and he missed 1 opportunity. Dane Belton had 4 opportunities. He missed 1. Jordan Riley, he had apparently one tackle attempt according to PFF, and he missed it. Right, so we had another guy here, Deontay Johnson. He missed 1 out of 4. Where we at here? Andrew Phillips. Of course, he only played 3 snaps. But you figure, you look at with Phillips, he was in there for 3 snaps. He made 1 tackle and he missed on another tackle. So he was in the action. Right? That's one of the reasons why he graded out kind of poorly down here, because he pretty much missed the tackle. So we had some guys that missed some tackles here, so it was not super duper spectacular. But the thing was with Phillips is he only played 3 snaps because he was in on a tackle, and I was at Knox. I think one of the tight ends caught a ball. Well, I hope this guy can stay healthy. He played 3 snaps and he got injured and he had to come out. Now, the thing is, you're not so sure if it was an injury. It was possibly a little something. Because it was probably what I'm thinking. It was the 3 and out. This first time Buffalo had the ball, it was 3 and out. Now what it was when he made the tackle, he was in with the tackle with a bunch of other guys. It was 3rd down and whatever. 3rd down and I don't know what the heck it was, 17 or something, whatever it was. And Trubisky dropped back the pass, hit somebody short. The guy probably picked up like 10, 11, 12 yards on the reception, but they were still like 5 yards short. So it was a 3 and out. So after the 3 and out, Phillips went on the sideline. I don't know if he went up to the coach or went up to somebody, said, I don't know, feel a little sore or something, whatever. Now, does that mean he couldn't have gone back in the game? You don't know. But when you got your starting slot cornerback, and I don't know, goes in there, makes a tackle, says he feels a little something or whatever it was, they take him out because they got 3,000 guys that, or a lot of guys that, can take his place, right, and play the rest of the game. So, and let's not forget, Flott wasn't in there either, so that's why Banks played a lot of snaps too, right? Flott was able to go. Banks wouldn't have had that many snaps. Right, so we had Raheem Lane, 73.2. Elijah Garcia, 73.2. Tyler Newman, 8 snaps, 72. Corey Durden, 17 snaps, 68.5. Paulson Adebo, 8 snaps, 63.3. Banks, 20 snaps, 63.2. Javon Holland, 8 snaps, 62.8. Dane Belton, 16 snaps, 60.9. Jordan Riley, 16 snaps, 60.1. Elijah Chapman, 11 snaps, 60. Roy Robinson Harris, 8 snaps, 58.9. Now, I'm not exactly sure what the heck this is. I don't know how you get a 58.9 with Roy Robinson Harris. I don't understand this. His run defense was a 72. His tackling was a 71. His pass rush was a 63.6. And he graded out a 58.9. I don't know how that's possible, but Darius Alexander didn't have a super spectacular 22 snaps, graded out a 56.4. He had nothing. Didn't have a tackle, a missed tackle, a pass rush, nothing. So let's hope better times are ahead for Mr. Alexander. Right? Deontay Johnson, the linebacker, 37 snaps, graded out of 56. Bakari Page, 34 snaps, graded at 54. Kayvon, 6 snaps, graded at 53.6. Bobby Okereke, 8 snaps, 53.6. Toman Fox, 35 snaps, 53.5. Andrew Phillips, 3 snaps, graded at 51. TJ Moore, moving on up. TJ Moore, 37 snaps at cornerback, graded at 50.7. Now, Nick Jones, he's the one that took Andrew Phillips' spot, I believe. He played 41 snaps, graded out of 50.2. He did not do super spectacular. Let's see here. Oh, he missed. Oh, he had 4 tackles. He missed 1, though. So he was having some issues. You see, his graded at 38.2. He graded at 43.4. So he had some issues. But I believe Nick Jones was the one that took Andrew Phillips' spot after Andrew Phillips only played the 3 snaps. Jeremiah Ledbetter, 23 snaps, 49.7. KJ Cloyd, 29 snaps, 47.3. Nacho, 7 snaps, 45.6. D. Williams, 32 snaps, 45.2. Darius Muasau, 12 snaps, 41.5. O'Donnell Fortune, 17 snaps, 35.4. And Chris Board, special teams ace, though, Chris Board, 20 snaps, 28.6. I mean, a lot of these guys, right, they're not going to be starters, obviously, on the team, now whether it's offensive or defensive. But, there are some of these guys like Board and all, if they make the 53, are expected to be big-time contributors in special teams. So you like to see, obviously, especially in preseason, you don't want anybody on your team obviously being graded out really low, but you don't want to see a bunch of your starters being graded out really low, right? But you can just see, I said, the starting defense, now whether the guy's graded out good or not or whatever it was. And once again, the Bills did not have Josh Allen in there. Things might have been a little different if Josh Allen was out there running around with the Bills. But the Bills did have Mitch Trubisky, who's a seasoned quarterback, but they did have their starting offensive line out there. So we were going, our team without Dexter Lawrence, and somebody like Dexter makes everybody better, right? If you need to put 13 guys to block Dexter Lawrence, it frees up some of the other guys. Okay. But, as I said, the Bills' offensive line is very good. Last season, they only gave up 14 sacks. At least that's what the Bills announcers on the NFL Network said. They led the league. They only gave up 14 sacks all season last year. So they have a very good offensive line. And the Giants, the 2 series that the starting defensive players were out there, they did pretty well, especially Mr. Carter. And I said, our best player on our team as of right now is Dexter Lawrence, was not out there. Okay. But to be fair, the best player on the Bills team, Josh Allen, was not out there either. Right. Okay. Then last, All right, we'll go after the special team grades after the Giants beat the Bills. Now, of course, Mr. Graham Gano had himself a very good kicked 3 field goals of over 50 yards. Now, of course, the one looked like he was playing pool. He kind of he banked he banked the football off the right upright, and it wound up going in. But still, he kicked 3 field goals of over 50 yards. Now, it's just it's amazing. Now, I saw one of the Facebook, somebody posted a post in Facebook, and they were complaining about the Giants settling for a field goal or field goals. And right in the past, and we did settle for field goals, but it's just amazing that even when things go good, you got these idiots out there that complain. Now, true, we settled for 4 field goals, but we scored 3 touchdowns. We scored 34 points. Every quarterback, every one, led us to points. 4 quarterbacks. And even Bob Papa, who said he's been the radio announcer since 95, I think it was. Even Bob Papa, he has his Believe in Giants. Him and Carl Banks were talking. Okay. Bob Papa said all 4 quarterbacks led us to points. And he said he doesn't even know. He said he was have to think maybe in 92 when the Giants had Brown, Sims, Hostetler. Who else? Let's see. Hold on there. Let me see here. 1992. Now, it would have to be a preseason game because you don't put 4 quarterbacks in a game, right? You don't put 4 quarterbacks in a game. But let's see, did they even play? Okay, yeah, they did. Dave Brown, Kent Graham was the other one. He said Hostetler, Sims, Graham, and Brown. Actually, all 4 of those guys did get in games in 1992. But well, of course, that was Ray Hanley's final season, so thank goodness. But he said you might have to go back maybe to 1992, if that. I don't even know if ever. The Giants had 4 quarterbacks in a preseason, any game. Because you're not going to have 4 quarterbacks going to a regular season game. I mean, that's just almost crazy, right? I mean, but 4 quarterbacks for the Giants in a game, regular season, postseason, preseason, whatever, all score points. All lead the team down the field to score points. I mean, I don't know if and when that happened before, right? But I said, but there's one guy on, it said, it's just typical Giants. Our drive stall out. We settle for field goals. I mean, I said, I in my Facebook, I scroll and look and if I see something, I maybe a copy and I throw it into my Facebook group. There's some good stuff, good videos and stuff like that. And somebody shows some stats and I throw them in there. I was scrolling, I seen this one comment. It's like, typical Giants, another garbage season out of us, settling for field goals. I mean, we scored 34 points. We scored 7 times, and this idiot is complaining. Even when we scored 34 points, you got some idiots out there that it just boggles my mind. Absolutely boggles my mind. All right, so let's go here. We'll go over the special teams. Now, this is very important because this is where a lot of these players, especially on the bubble, are going to have to. Let's see, here we are. Special teams going to have to, they got to make their money, right? So now Nick Jones, okay, the guy who went in for Andrew Phillips because Andrew Phillips got hurt after the 3rd play, didn't do too well, okay, but he can be a backup. But you'll notice on the special teams, graded out 89.6. Dalen Cambry did not have a super duper spectacular game as a wide receiver, but he's an okay wide receiver. But if he makes the team, it's because of his special teams. Rated at 73.9. Jermaine Terry, rated 73.7. Turbo Miller, 72.3. So it's like, I'll tell you what, boy, it's going to be very, very difficult. Very, very difficult. Do we keep 3 tight ends? We keep 4 tight ends, or we keep 4? Which one are we going to try to put onto the practice squad? It'd be tough to. You have Turbo Miller go out there and put some good stuff on tape, and he may not make it the practice squad. I mean, it'd be a shame to have Turbo Miller, and another team just scoffs him up, puts him on there. And it's somebody that good. I'm not saying the guy is Barry Sanders or Jim Brown or Emmitt Smith or something. I'm not saying that, but the guy is fast, and you saw that when you were able to dump the ball off to him in the flats. The dude made things happen. I mean, he was blowing past people, getting turning third downs and third and longs in the first downs. And now maybe he wasn't so super spectacular in the running game, but I'll tell you what, you get the ball out, get the guy out in space with the ball, he's got an extra gear. Tough to catch him. Now it's Chris Board, right? He's one of our special teams aces, right? He graded at 69.4. Deontay Banks, he was just out there for 2 snaps at 68.8. KJ Cloyd, 10 snaps, 68.7. Makari Page, 68.1. Antoine Wells, just 2 snaps, 67.3. Trace Ford, 66.9. Casey Crider, long snapper, 64.8. Zach Pascal, he was out there for 15 snaps, 64.6. Thomas Fidone, 19 snaps, big-time special teams contributor, 62.9. Because quite possibly what we're looking at is Fidone, if he makes the team, he's going to be tight end, quite possibly number 4. Now, he had that one catch. He snagged that 2-point conversion, right, thrown by Jameson Winston. But apparently, because I don't know who it was, there was another wide receiver in the corner just behind Fidone. The ball was apparently what Winston said was meant for him. And Fidone just stuck his hands out there and pulled the ball in. And it's funny because there's a video. Somebody on the sideline was behind Fidone, and Winston came over to him and was, "Hey man, good job," and all that. He said, "The guys want to know if you got stickum on your hands," because that ball was fired, and Fidone just plucked that baby out of the air. But apparently, I think he missed. I think he dropped the pass. So, but he's got a long wingspan. But if he's going to make the team, right, this is where he's going to have to, he's going to have to be a nice kind of contributor. Special teams. He was 19 snaps, special teams. DeQuan Felton, just 4 snaps, graded a 62.5. Kevon Wallace, 16 snaps. So once again, Wallace makes the team. He's not the starting safety, right? He's going to be a backup safety. But where's he got to make his money? He's going special teams. He played 16 snaps, 62.5. Jimmy Morrissey, 6 snaps, 61.3. Jonathan Ward, 4 snaps, 61.3. Now, Jonathan Ward, he's got the only thing. I mean, he's got a really tough job here. Okay, to try to make this team, because if some reason, hopefully not. I hope to God not. If Cam Scatterboo can't go, they could put him on, maybe, injured reserved or something, maybe to start the season, and he'd have to miss, I guess, the first 4 games, I believe it would be. But if that's the case, if you got Scatterboo on injured reserve, you still got Motor Singletary, you got Tyrone Tracy, and you got Turbo Miller, right? You got those 3 guys, and then you got Cam Scatterboo on injured reserve. And then who's going to be on the practice squad if he makes it? It would be Jonathan Ward. So he has a hard time. He's got a hard, long road ahead. It won't be easy for him. But Okay, Darius Muasau, of course, he doesn't start, right? But what is he going to have to make his money on special teams? He graded out of 61. Jake Kubas, 6 snaps, graded at 60.9. Joshua Zudu, 6 snaps, graded at 60.9. Stone Forsythe, same thing, 6 snaps, 60.9. These guys were all, I guess, on extra points. Field goals. Okay. Well, field goal, one's only what? They played 3 snaps. Six snaps? 6 snaps. Okay. Yeah. All right. Anyway, the Hammer, 10 snaps, 60.7. Aaron Stenney, 6 snaps, 60.5. Marcus Bowe, 6 snaps, 60.4. Gunnar Olszewski, just 2 snaps, 60.4. O'Donnell Fortune, 6 snaps, graded at 60.2. Jude, hey, Jude. 6 snaps, graded out of 60. Micah McFadden, 1 snap, graded at 60. Montreal, Washington, 3 snaps. Now the same thing with him. If he can make a nice showing on special teams, that would be huge for him. He was only in 3 snaps, though, graded at 60. Emir Smith-Marset, 6 snaps, 60. Elijah Garcia, 3 snaps, graded out of 60. Graham Gano, 8 snaps, graded out of 60. He made 3 field goals. Somehow he's still only graded out of 60. I don't know how that's possible, but Corey Durden, 3 snaps, 59.8. DJ Davidson, 3 snaps, 59.8. Chris Manhertz, 2 snaps, 59.8. Jeremiah Ledbetter, 3 snaps, 59.2. D. Williams, 11 snaps, 57.3. Lil Jordan Humphrey, who's not so little, by the way, 4 snaps, 56.7. Greg Dulcich, 23 snaps. Holy cow, he was on like everything. Wow. 54.1. Deontay Johnson, 17 snaps, 39.1. And Toman Fox. Yeah, he's got his work cut out for him, Mr. Toman Fox. 16 snaps, 28.7. Now, what the hell? Oh, he had a penalty on him, looked like. Toman Fox had a penalty. An accepted penalty. One of the 10 accepted penalties the Giants had, I guess it was. Is that there? Well, maybe it was declined. Maybe these 2 penalties were accepted. I don't know. I'm not exactly sure. But got a lot of guys, is where they're going to make their, make their showing on special teams, right? Now, the one nice thing, I mean, especially as far as we once again, we have a ton of wide receivers, right? So the nice thing about with the fact that you have, what do you got? Neighbors, Slayton, and Hyatt being out, right? And, so there's lots of snaps to go around for the rest of these wide receivers, right? So they all got chances on making a good impression. But even I said, like with Cambry and guys like that, the wide receivers, they got to show something on special teams. So. Now I saw the, we saw some of the offensive, the breakdown, the offensive line, the grades and all that by PFF. But saw this one article that talks about, breaks down like all the guys who want to play. And I said, once again, let's not forget, Evan Neal didn't play. Now he still has, he's got some room to grow, but he was our best run blocker. I mean, last season. Now, Gabriel, not Gabriel. We've certainly got a lot better in his blocking. Now his pass protection still is a little something to be desired, but Carmen Basillo, ever since he came in last year, he's really helped Neal with his run blocking. I mean, Neal's out there sometimes. Some of the guys say if Neal gets his hands on you, it's like it's all over. He's so big and strong. It's like, game over. right? He's out there pancaking some guys. So, but he still has some work to do, with his, maybe the pass protection, but his run blocking is fantastic. And I said, not even that, but our best offensive lineman, Andrew Thomas, can he ever stay healthy? We'll have to wait and see. But he didn't play, right? But I did see this one article there, breaking down. So I said, okay, here we go. One of them is Joshua Zudu. I mean, he, man, fantastic. All right, the Giants' offensive line combinations pitched a shutout in the preseason opener, basically not giving up any sacks. I mean, 51. Actually, it was 54. I think the quarterbacks ran, I guess 3 times, I'm thinking. And the other 51 times, we threw 51 passes and not once, I think 6 hits on the quarterback, but not 1 sack. I mean, that's fantastic. So the Giants' offensive line was, wait for it, solid. Ooh. Right? Carmen Bufallo. I mean, he's really seeming to work some of his magic here. Right? Because let's not forget, a lot of these guys, not all, but a lot of these guys we had last year. So a lot of these guys, once again, may not make the team or they might get put on the practice squad or whatever, but a lot of these guys from, it's the second season with Carmen Bufallo. So solid as in 0. Yes, you read that correctly. 0 sacks out of 51 dropbacks and only 10 quarterback pressures per Pro Football Focus. Okay, 10. The best news of all is that it didn't matter which combination the Giants had out there. I mean, it was crazy. You got guys on, as I said, Marcus Bowe was right tackle, left tackle. You had guys switching guards. It was crazy. Different centers in there. And no sacks. Granted, the play of the quarterback had something to do with the lack of sacks and sprinkling of pressures, but the offensive line's play across the board was one of the most positive developments to come before the preseason. Man, you ain't kidding. I mean, there was times, like the quarterback dropping back to pass, and he's like, he's looking, he's got time, he's looking, he's looking, he still has time. I mean, it's crazy. Let's go ahead and zero in on the individual performances, what we liked and what we didn't. So James Hudson. Now, what I didn't like about James Hudson is I think it was like as soon as he came in, he had a false start penalty, and then he had a holding penalty. Back-to-back plays. Getting a start at left tackle was Andrew Thomas. With Andrew Thomas on the pup list, Hudson played just the 1 series. And he had 2 penalties. The bad news is that he committed 2 penalties in that single possession, 1 false start and 1 holding, though the holding call on a running play was a bit iffy. Okay. Hudson certainly has this team made, as tackles don't grow on trees. He has the size and the ability to play the position at an adequate level. He lacks a nifty lower body that all good ones have. But he has the attitude too, which is good. Hudson has had a bit of a raucous summer, mixing things up physically consistently. Everyone loves feistiness in an offensive lineman. This young man has been coming to work every day with his lunch pail in hand and a chip on his shoulder. We like that and are sure the coaches do as well. Jermaine Illuminor, getting started right tackle where he played just 1 series. Illuminor looked sharp, nimble, and prepared. His pass blocking movement looked to be in mid-season form, but the run blocking not so much. So that's one guy I'm gonna skip over here for just a second. We're gonna go over him a little bit more on him in just a minute. Stone Forsythe, getting some second half right tackle snaps. Forsythe held up well, especially on the pass blocking. This is a very large man who can handle NFL power. He lacks a certain niftiness for sure, but we've seen much less capable backups on this roster in the last decade, and we think Forsythe would be a starter on some of those teams. Joshua Zudu. Did we see an improved Zudu manning the left tackle slot for several early snaps this week? We certainly did. Our eyes may be deceiving us, but Izudu appears to be a much larger human being than in his recent incarnations. His game looked bigger, too. His pass blocking was pristine while he moved adequately, getting into some of his run blocks. We realized he was facing backups out there, so it's probably not a good idea to get too excited. But the way this entire O-line blocked for the past 0 sacks has us believing that maybe, just maybe, this long-time Achilles heel has finally been fixed. John Runyon, the veteran returning from last year's season-ending shoulder injury, looked healthy enough, but he gave up an early pressure to Power, which gives us pause. He played the one series and was otherwise solid and alert. Greg Van Roten, getting the start at right guard, where he's destined to start come September. Van Roten's power game was on full display as he stopped an interior pass rusher dead in his tracks. The veteran's reliability and smarts will always show up on game day, which is why he'll get the starting nod until someone younger, stronger, and better comes along. Well, it could be Evan Neal. Jake Kubas. With Evan Neal a surprise and disappointing injury-related scratch, Kubas got the bulk of the second-team snaps at right guard. On Jackson Dart's second quarter touchdown throw, Kubas was beaten one-on-one and gave up a big hit on his quarterback. To be fair, was there supposed to have been an inside help from the center as it appeared? So maybe the center, maybe, you don't know. And I don't know if you'll ever know. Because he did blow past the center as well, too. So maybe the center was supposed to come over there and help him out. Who knows? Kubas isn't at a point yet where he can allow miscommunications to blow up a play. His arms are too short, and he lacks a power component to his game. He gets by on his mobility and his smarts. Other than that, Kubas had a solid game, but it wasn't stellar. Aaron Stinney. We thought Stinney was the offense's best backup guard this week. We didn't spot a single miss in his play. What we did notice was his physicality coming into play on several double teams and finishing blocks. Stinney was a force out there. Jason Williams. This rookie interior lineman got some late game snaps at right guard and did not look out of place at all. Williams looked most comfortable mixing it up in the run game. His pass blocking wasn't much challenge as he was able to stay in front of his man without much difficulty. This young man has good size. We'd like to see more of him against better competition. Well, that's coming up against the Jets, right? Brian Hudson, getting some early snaps at center and then later on at right guard. This young veteran stayed on his feet well enough, but we didn't think his movement skills were great. He appears somewhat stiff in the lower body and lacks significant bulk. We like his versatility, but we're not sure he's athletic enough at this point in his development. John Michael Schmitz. The team's incumbent starter at center looked the part of a starting NFL center in his one series this week, a marked improvement over the play last season. He moved very well with improved balance, and he seemed a bit bigger and stronger. We want to see a larger sample size, but suffice it to say, Schmitz looked worlds ahead of where he was last year. Austin Schlottman. Getting most of the backup snaps at center, Schlottman was manhandled on several snaps and otherwise did not flash with his movements or athleticism. This veteran is backup insurance for the roster. His smarts and experience in the league are pluses. But with Greg Van Roten able to play center, Schlottman might just have an uphill battle to stay on this roster. Well, I mean, maybe he might wind up making the practice squad. Jimmy Morrissey. That's why Greg Van Roten is so so important. Greg Van Roten can play all the three interior offensive line positions. Jimmy Morrissey. Another youngish veteran at center. Morrissey is 27 to Schlottman's 30. This player is also backup insurance. Morrissey played the entire fourth quarter over the ball and didn't make any mistakes. However, he also did little to impress other than just get in the defender's way. So, and once again, all those things, you have to keep all that stuff in mind, right? Because, a lot of these guys who were getting these later, third quarter reps, fourth quarter reps. If they put on, you certainly don't want to see them do bad, but you also got to keep in mind, once again, it's preseason, and the guys getting in there in fourth quarter reps, they're going up against like third teamers. Some of these guys on the other team won't even make the team, right? So, that's why it's very important for these guys to look good. I mean, we had guys out there, getting fourth quarter reps, and they were getting blown away. I mean, that's not that's a very bad sign. But one guy, if I can find him, really, just unbelievable. Right? Not only was a rookie, but he left tackle and right tackle. I mean, just fantastic. We picked this guy up in the draft this year. I mean, his first, and once again, we're not putting him in the Hall of Fame just yet. Give him another week, right? But, putting the guy on both sides of the line of scrimmage, Brian Baldinger, it's funny. I like the way he breaks stuff down and all. He kind of reminds me of like a little bit of John Madden, a little bit, the way he breaks some things down and all right. And he was talking about Marcus Bowe. He did some video on him and all. And he's in the video. What's he say? All I heard was swat. And what the heck was it? Is that him? Nope. Okay, here we go. This one right here. All I heard was smack. All I saw was swat. Let's go. All these breakdowns. He said the best rookie performance was Marcus Bowe. So, once again, he wasn't going up against the best of the best in the NFL. I get that. But for a rookie, especially if he starts getting better and better, all these breakdown, Marcus Bowe performed best among New York Giants rookies. New York Giants rookie class had a banner debut in the 34-25 preseason win over the Bills in Buffalo this past Saturday. Let's not forget, Scatterboo wasn't in there either, right? Their first-round picks in the 2025 NFL Draft, linebacker Abdul Carter and quarterback Jackson Dart played well and made highlight reels across social media. But it was perhaps their fifth-round selection, Purdue offensive lineman Marcus Bowe, that opened the most eyes with a standout performance at both left and right tackle. Per Pro Football Focus, Marcus Bowe allowed just one pressure in 35 snaps played and received an 81.2 pass blocking grade. Former NFL lineman turned analyst Brian Baldinger agreed that Bowe put on the best show of any Giant rookie this week. And he showed he broke down a few of his plays, some in the run game, some in the pass game, some of them he knocking guys to the ground. One of it was, I think it was in a run play. I think it was a Turbo Miller. I forgot who it was in the run play, but Bowe was out there, and he locked on. I think it was maybe like a defensive back, and he was blocking the guy, and he wound up riding the guy. They all fell out of bounds. So he rode him for like maybe the numbers to out of bounds, and they threw him out of bounds. Bowe fell too, but it was just crazy. Well, once again, it's a preseason game, okay, and he's going up pretty much, I think, against backups, but still, right tackle and left tackle, 35 pass blocking snaps, and he only gave up one pressure. Pretty impressive for a fifth-round pick. Spirits are incredibly high after the Giants' 35-24 preseason victory. Now, 35-24, no, it's 34-25 preseason victory over the Buffalo Bills. Whoever wrote this article there better get that right. But long list of positives from the performance as media outlets raving over the Giants' new look squad. One name, and I said, if you look at it, right, camps, Scatterbo wasn't playing. Dexter Lawrence didn't play. Andrew Thomas didn't play. Evan Neal didn't play. 3 of our top 4 wide receivers didn't play. Right? Long list of positives from the performances. Media outlets raving over the Giants' new looks. Well, one name who was once on the most unheralded is firmly in the spotlight after a fantastic performance. And it's so good to hear, so refreshing to hear good performance from an offensive lineman. And not only that, a rookie offensive lineman. And not only that, a rookie offensive lineman's first game. Now, once again, he's not going up against the Purple People Eaters, the Steel Curtain, Doomsday. I get it. Right? He's going up against backups, but still, it's nice to hear, especially from the Giants' standpoint. That player's rookie offensive lineman, Marcus Bowe, out of Purdue. Bowe shines in multiple roles. Now, he made it to the 5th round, too. When Bowe was selected at the 154th pick in the 5th round in the 2025 NFL Draft, the expectations were that he would be a developmental prospect. His college tape was filled with athletic potential, but many areas that needed refinement. However, his impact has shown up sooner than anticipated. Per PFF, Bowe allowed only 1 pressure throughout his 35 pass blocking reps. During Saturday's game, Bowe contributed at both left and right tackle, making the feat even more notable. Giants rookie offensive tackle Marcus Bowe in preseason week 1. 35 pass block snaps, 1 pressure allowed, 81.2 pass blocking grade. Understandably, Bowe's impressive day came against mostly reserve players for the Buffalo Bills, but a day like yesterday establishes a fantastic foundation for a young prospect who needs to stack quality performances in practices and in games. Now, I say coming up, let's not forget, we're going up against the Jets, and the Jets got themselves a mighty fine defense. So, when speaking to the media on Sunday, Coach Brian Daboll acknowledged a strong game from Bowe. I thought he did a good job, protected well, was athletic, knew all of the plays, assignments that he had. He's had a good camp up to this point. He's done a nice job since he's been here. On a rewatch of Bowe's snaps, 2 things stand out: smoothness and comfort. Ooh, all right. Bowe's best traits as a prospect were his light feet and flexibility. In pass protection, he maintained a wide base with quick feet, beating many rushers to the initial point of contact. His flexibility flashed as he was able to mirror and redirect without much difficulty. Overall, he was an incredibly smooth mover on most players. What may be the most impressive aspect of his performance was how comfortable he looked at both tackle positions. You ask any offensive lineman, trying to play opposite sides of the line requires athleticism and body control. Bowe made that complex task look easy, with no discernible difference between each position. This does not mean Bowe should be thrust into the starting lineup after 1 good game. However, it does call into question whether he could unseat a veteran as the team's 6th offensive lineman. This offseason, the Giants signed former Cleveland Browns tackle James Hudson III to fill that swing tackle role. Last year, the Giants' lack of offensive line depth significantly hurt them, and proving this was imperative this offseason as Andrew Thomas started training camp on the PUP list. If Bowe looks ready, the rookie occupying that position would benefit the team more than Hudson. If Bowe were to get an opportunity to play later in the regular season, those reps would be more valuable for a rookie than a veteran free agent, which is true. With multiple Giant rookies generating buzz during the preseason, Bowe is a name that fans should watch closely to see if he climbs the depth chart. That's true. That's true. I mean, you need. I mean, that's why we brought Hudson in. Wanted to bring. We needed somebody who could play. Swing tackle. Then we need somebody who can play the right tackle and the left tackle. Well, you might have him with Bowe. But you have to keep an eye because this is a Luminor. We'll have to keep, once again, the season's got to play out, all that stuff. Right? But this is a Luminor's 2nd season. A Luminor only wanted to sign a 2-year contract. Not sure if the Giants wanted to offer him a longer-term deal or not, but I think Illuminor just wanted to sign a 2-year deal. So this will be his second season. So well, keep an eye. You don't know. I mean, if Andrew Thomas can stay healthy, right? Andrew Thomas might be the left tackle. Maybe after the season, maybe Bo might be the right tackle. Who knows? If Evan Neal, right? I mean, if Zudu can keep playing well, Neal, John Michael Schmitz might be some miracle of God. We might have 4 or 5 of our offensive linemen all being draft picks. I mean, wouldn't that be unbelievable, huh? But it'd be interesting to see, especially after this season's over with, if we do bring Illuminor back. May not be a bad idea, right? But, Bo did pretty well. I mean, it wasn't just, as I said, just wasn't at one position. He played 2 positions. I said, not only that, I said, like with the Zudu, once again, it's just a preseason game. A lot of these snaps, once again, I want to get backups and all that. I get it. But you would much rather have, right, one of your offensive linemen, if they're going up against a backup, be good. You don't want to have obviously Zudo, he went up against the 4th string defense from the Buffalo Bills and he got torched, Certainly don't want that. But there's certainly a lot of good things. Now, it's just one game, and this weekend coming up against the Jets, the Giants might come back down to earth. I hope not. But, for at least 1 week, right, we have, puff our chests up and feel good about our New York Giants, something that hasn't happened in a long, long time. All right, guys, been 1 hour and 22 minutes. Whoever spent any time listening to me live, thank you, thank you, thank you. Or if anybody's going to spend any time watching the replay of this, once again, thank you so much from the bottom of my heart. It means the world to me. As always, you guys stay safe out there and go Giants! Woo! Oh, yeah.